Hello everyone, welcome to IBM BAW training series. In this session, I'll be covering about process application and toolkit. So first we'll start with the process application. The process application is nothing but a container which contains the artifacts which created by a developer to build the application. So artifacts is nothing but the components which are created inside the process application. Something like processes we will be creating it, services we will be creating, UI components, as well as some of the business object will be creating it inside the process application to build a application. So these components we call it as an artifact. So I'll just explain you how we can create this process application in by using the process center and as well as a workflow center. Okay, let's jump into the screen. So I will explain you how we can create this process application by using a process center. So you can see here we have a process center here. The first tab we have a process apps. So these are the process applications we have. So under this one, so we will be having here option to create a new process app. Okay. So we have to click here. So we have to name the process application. So we can give any name which is related to your process. So example, you have a loan processing process you are automating it. Then you can name it like a loan application, or you have a something like credit card application, that process you need to automate. Then you can name it like something like credit card application, or you let's consider you have a account opening application. Then you can name your process application as a something like personal account opening or a corporate account opening. So we can decide based upon which process we are automating it. So based upon the process we are automating it, so we have to decide the name of a process application. So I'll just give a name. I wanted to automate the account opening. I wanted account opening process I need to automate. So I'll name it as account opening application. Okay. So if you see here, so the acronym of a process app will be auto generated. So you can specify your own acronym name. Otherwise, the system will auto generate the acronym name. So that is nothing but acronym name is nothing but a unique name which is assigned to your process application. Okay. So after that, you can give a description. So you can mention here, so what purpose you are creating this process app, and what is the use of this particular process app description you can give, and you can click on create. So when you create, so here you can see the process application got created. So once the application got created, so when we click on this process application, so first tab will open the snapshot. So snapshot, under the snapshot you can see the versions which you created. So that is nothing but, so you will be opening this process application as a developer. You will create some artifact, and so after the creating artifact, you want to deploy that application into higher environment. Then what you will do, you will create a instance of that code. That is nothing but a snapshot you will be get creating. So that snapshot detail or version detail will be shown under the snapshot tab. Then parallelly we have a history, so which is a just once you create a application, what and all action has taken on this particular process app will be shown here. And under the manage, so you can give access to any user by clicking on add user. So I want to give access to one of my other developer. So when you search with the name, so here the particular developer name will be displayed, and you can give access. So then again there are three type of accesses you can give it to developer, which is like you know read access, write access, and admin access. Okay. So I wanted to give only the read only access. So just I'll specify read only. Okay, then so these are the things we can see once we create a process application. So to open a process application, just we have option to open in a designer. Just you click on this open in designer, and then process application will be get opened. So you can start building your application by using these artifacts, process artifacts, user interfaces, services, event, teams, data, performance, and file. By using these artifacts, you can build your application. Okay, so this is how we can create a process application by using a process center. So or we can call it as workflow center. Let's jump into how we can build this or how we can create this process application in a higher version, which is 24 version. So here if you see, this is a 24 application, which is a SaaS platform. So when you go here home, under the home you will be having this business automation. Under the business automation, so you will be having a two options, external or workflows. So just click on workflow. Under the workflow, so when you click on this workflow, so these are the process applications which are created, okay, by other developer or so or existing application. So let me create a new process application, which is again you will be getting two option. One is create a workflow automation and a toolkit. First I'll start with what process application. So just I'll here also same thing. So you have to give a name of this your application, which is I name it as account opening. Then what purpose you are using this application. So after mentioning your purpose, then you can create. So once you get create, right, so the process application will get open. So here you can see artifacts, which by using these artifacts, which the artifacts will remain same. Whatever we have, I explained previously, the same artifacts you can see here as well. Okay, so you can use by using these process artifacts, you can build a process application. So now I won't be building any application now. So I'll explain you the differences. So in the 24 version, so when we open this, when you click on this application, so we will be getting something like tab, which is version and collaborators and automation services. The version is nothing but it is kind of like a snapshots. So if anything like you change the code under the process application, you created the snapshot, then those snapshot detail will comes under the version. Okay, and beside that we have a branches. So in we this is nothing but a tracks. So if any parallel development is going on, then other developers are working parallelly on the application. So then you will be creating two tracks, and you will be working under the one track, and another set of developer will be working on another track. So those tracks in 20 and below, like we used to call it as a tracks, but now it is changed to branches. So here you can see how many branches are created. By default, we'll be having a main branches. Okay, and also I mentioned the axis. So we I just explained you like how we can give axis with a manage tab, but that tab we changed it is changed as collaborator. So here, so in the collaborator you can see this person has access. So you can add another users. So here you can search a user and click on add. So after selecting and adding, you can what happens, that user will be added here. Okay, so and you can change the access level as well. So you can change it to admin or read only or write only access. All those things you can change it. Okay. So that's all about how we can create a process application. Let's jump into toolkit. The toolkit is nothing but a reusable container which can be shared with a multiple process application. So again for toolkit, so we'll be creating a toolkit. and under the toolkit. So when we open the toolkit, we will be creating again artifacts, development artifacts will be getting creating. And once we build a toolkit, so what happens, that toolkit will be sharing with multiple process application. That is nothing but, so let's consider you have a two application has the same screens. Example, in application 1 and application 2, so we are using a user interfaces which are almost similar. Okay, in that case what we will do, so we will be creating these UI components under the toolkit. Inside the toolkit we'll be creating it. And so once the all the development is done, then we will use this same toolkit, in which toolkit we have created those artifact. That toolkit we will link into two application. So in that case what happens, all the two applications, wherever we'll share this toolkit, right? So all the application which will be having access to use those artifacts, so which might be a UI component, or it might be a services, or any integration component which can be used in the multiple application. So that is the reason we say we tell toolkit as a reusable container. Okay, and I'll just tell you, I'll show you how we can create a toolkit and how we can share the toolkit with a multiple application. Okay, so to create a toolkit, so we have to move into this toolkit tab. Under the toolkit tab, so you will get an option to create a toolkit. So I'll name it as common account toolkit. Okay. So now I named as common account toolkit. So here again acronomy will be auto generated, and here you can see description and create it. So when you create it, so the toolkit will be get created here. So you can open this toolkit. So what happens here, you can create a component which are reusable under the multiple application. Just I'll create one of the sample which I wanted to create. I'll just create a one UI component which is open account component and finish. Then now the open account UI is generated. Similar way, you can create a processes, you can create it, uh, or services or teams or data, business object, or anything other than something like integration component also you can create. So I created one of the UI component which is open account. So then what I will do, I'll take a snapshot of this particular toolkit, which I name it as V1 version and finish. Okay. So this V1 version I wanted to link to the multiple process application. So I'll go back to the process center again, or workflow center. So I just have a two application. So which is account opening application, and new application in moment copy. Okay. So these two application I have. So what I will do, I wanted to link that toolkit version into these two applications. So how I can do? I'll just open this, open in a designer that application. You can add a dependencies here. So you can click on add, and this is common account toolkit. I can link it. So when I link this toolkit to this application, so I will be getting a dependencies which are created under the toolkit to this application. So here, see, you can see that component is available now. I can use this particular component. So what I can do, I can create a service. So here's one UI component which is stress CHS. Then for this, right, I can drag and drop that component. Okay, here. So or I can open this, mainly like we have to make this is a nested service, and I can use that particular UI component in any in the UI services. Okay. So same way, so I what I will do, I'll go back for this new application. So just I'll open it. And same way I can add a dependency. So again I can link this v1 version here, which is common account opening. So here you can see that that is got added. Okay, common account toolkit. So this is how you can link a toolkit to the multiple application, and also you can use those created artifact in your application. Okay, so let's understand now what is the difference between toolkit and process app. Okay, so mainly this process application and toolkits will behave differently. So first dependencies, if you see here dependencies, so the process application can be dependent on toolkits, but toolkit is not dependent on process application. So that is nothing but toolkit we can link inside the process application, but process application we can't link into the toolkit. Okay, and for process application, right? So it is a deployable component, and we can run those created we can run that application in a higher environments. So whatever the application will develop, so that we can deploy it into the higher environment and we can run it. But toolkit we can't deploy independently. So to deploy this toolkit, first we have to link it to the process application, then only we can deploy. So then purpose of this process application, so to build a automation process, and so mainly we will be using this process application to build the application and to run this automated processes. But the toolkit is a reusable component which can be shared with the multiple process application. So the process application, it contains processes, UI, services, rules, or any artifacts we can create it. But in case of toolkit also we can create all the artifacts which is supported under the process application. Okay, so we can create a process application as well inside the sorry, we can create a process inside the toolkit. That particular artifact we can make it as a reusable. So all the artifacts which are under the process application can be created under the toolkit as well, and we can use those artifacts as a reusable component. So that's all about the process application and toolkit. Thank you for watching. See you in next video.